Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Marianne Petrie. This episode of Slam Consulting Services. Child Protective Services cases are among the most frightening experiences any parent can endure. Don't face them alone. With urgent assist by CPS Protect, you get the peace of mind to raise your children as you see fit, and the personalized assistance of their team of expert child welfare consultants, former CPS investigators themselves, right when you need it. Get started absolutely free at cpsprotect.com/register. And this is available in all 50 states. I'm so happy to have my good friend Mark Andrews back on. He was last on Slam the Gavel, Season 2, Episode 80, Season 3, Episodes 13 and 23, Season 4, Episodes 116 and 138, and Season 5, Episode 29, where we discussed his federal court case update. He's also featured in my book that was released in August, Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children. And I'm so glad to have him on because we're going to talk about a viral video that is on YouTube about an attorney filing a citizen's arrest on Mark, who is a process server. And I guess the joke is on Attorney Pittman. So welcome back, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Still working the case. It's still dismissed. Um,
Mm.
but when the states manufactures and gives out work product of the court for submission into the federal court, um, false evidence, something's got to be made right. So we're trying to find a way to work that out. And
Mhm.
working with Eric Wafer on it. But in the interim, I also, still do my work with parents' rights here and there.
Mhm.
Um, I want to thank Susan Bassey for her viral video that went out, and she did an article on it. And she's about to work on something to do with the false transcripts.
Mhm.
The fact nobody really realized that when going through all this, you have to go through the process of the case.
Mhm.
But I set up a case where the state handed me evidence that they wrote up that was false and faulty, and they knew it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, why would the state of California have cited her $1,000 10
Yes.
years later? The
Yes.
only way they do that if it's fraud and a
Right.
fraud upon the court, because she is a court officer and part of the court staff. So we got a few, think about it. If she made a mistake, let's play devil's advocate. If she made a mistake, she would have then, as a legal professional, filed a notice of errata or
Mhm.
filed an amended, thing with and I believe there are some rules to do with transcripts. If you have to amend them in a certain way, you need
Mhm.
a judge's order with it. I believe, everybody somehow has to be notified, of course. None of this is done, yet no one has gone to the court and admitted that the state court prepared and submitted false evidence.
Mhm. Yeah, this transcriptionist got herself into a lot of trouble, especially
Yeah. And
not answering the door to the police.
well, no, well, did that. She told them she didn't have her notes, and then she handed her notes over when the state came a calling.
Mhm.
We were very blessed and very lucky that when we put it in the state agency of the transcription board, they took a while, but they did their job.
Mhm.
Um, they saw what was wrong and they cited it. And they cited that, the code that they used said it was fraud, dishonesty, and gross negligence, and a few other terms. And, you know, the facts are the facts. Now we must apply the law and expect a reasonable outcome for
There
what is a
has to
right
be.
without a remedy.
Mhm. There has to be. And now you've got this awesome viral video that just went just ballistic that day. I remember when it came out.
It took us a year to get that video
Mm.
out of the sheriff's department. They made it so my client had to go ask a judge for a copy of it. And then when we got it, it shows what it shows. I tell Mr. Pittman the law,
Mhm.
a man who's hired me in the past, his office has hired me. I've
Oh,
worked for Amber and Cheryl in the Sonoma County county counsel's office. I did probably about 10 serves for him over a period of time.
Oh,
Nice ladies, really nice. Everybody in the office is really nice. I just happen to be dealing with Mr. Pittman on this. So, but meaning he knows of me, seeing me through his camera. He shouldn't have wondered, I had a badge that I was presenting. They
mhm,
know me, they've hired me. He should just open the door. What are you doing at my home? Well, sir, they couldn't accept this at the office. I was told because it's personal, it's for you. Thank you. Have a good day. And
mhm.
that's all that would have happened. But I do what I do, when I knock on the door, nobody answered. I knock on the door, nobody answered, or ring the bell. And then, if somebody's car is there, you might try feeling the radiator. The radiator's warm. Somebody just came home, you
Mhm,
know, and you
mhm.
knock on windows. I'm 6'3". I get up there and bang on windows. Hello, bang, bang, bang. You wall it out with my badge or my hanging badge. And
Mhm.
that's how I'm more effective in its service. That's why a lot of companies hire me, because I don't just go,
Yeah.
what? No one answered the door? Okay, they weren't home. No.
Oh,
I look,
yeah.
talk to neighbors. How will I know if they're home? If there's a certain car here, look for kids' toys. Maybe come at Saturday morning during kids' cartoon hour, or if they're, look established people. You go on Sunday night if you have to get them because everybody's getting up for work on Monday morning.
Mhm, mhm. And you do an excellent job. You do your job so professionally, and to be treated like this, you
Yeah,
know
that's what some of the a bunch of the comments on the video about me being calm, but that's the way you act. I'm doing a professional job. I am licensed. I am bonded by the state of
Mhm,
California. If I were to be any way out of shape and it could be put on video to go before a judge and catch me acting out,
mhm,
I do it very rarely, and it's either with the consent of the attorney or I've been specifically asked to do something,
mhm,
and you're paying for this. Other than that, it's sir and ma'am. I've served many judges, I will go to the courthouse, make sure they're in their chamber, and then I go over to their judicial assistant. I don't embarrass them in the courtroom.
mhm,
Like some people want that, but the professional way, if you're going to respect the system that you want to avenge your wrong, you
mhm,
have to respect the system. And so I'll serve the judicial assistant. I try not to serve people at home if I can help it, depending on, where I have to catch them.
mhm,
But, professionals, that is. I know lawyers have offices and stuff like that. Doctors have offices. So
mhm.
you don't got to go and bug their family, which they tend to really not like.
No. Well, how does this, Robert Pittman behave now that you know of? Is
Um, well, I just saw him a few days ago. I went to the Board of Supervisors meeting in
Mhm.
Sonoma County.
What
And,
happened there?
yeah, we have this on video, so there'll be some more stuff coming out.
Mhm,
But I went before the board, got the clown suit on, right?
mhm,
Um, and I said, hey, look, I've been a resident for 33 years. I've been a court officer in this town for 15 years. And, we got a great police force. I run into them in the course of my duties, both the sheriff and Santa Rosa PD. Santa Rosa PD's done a investigation, but it's kind of odd. We have evidence of the crime, and now the state is admitted with a citation from the transcription board, $1,000. She committed a crime.
mhm,
Arrest her and let her go through the process, right?
mhm,
Ask her if anybody told her. Did another lawyer or the judge or somebody tell you to do this? We'd like to know.
mhm,
But it stalled. And the same with the sheriff. I asked them, I wanted Mr. Pittman arrested for false arrest. And since he was the head of county council in the lawsuit that you talked about, that's in your book, Raised by These Wolves, I'm story number 26. Um,
mhm.
Mr. Pittman, he
So
I'm sorry, we were talking about the council meeting. So
yes.
I said, why are the police so recalcitrant to, serving this lady with, a citation or arrest? The transcriptionist, it's minimum 2 felonies, which I believe are 15 months to 3 years.
Mhm,
And Mr. Pittman, it's false arrest, and he was the attorney of record for the county while in a lawsuit, he has me falsely arrested doing my job,
mhm.
something his office has hired me to do. And yet I say,
Right.
arrest him for this. And, oh, yeah, no, we can't do that. That's what I was told. So I asked the board, hey, what's up? And so they didn't respond, and they said, "You got 6 seconds left for you to speak, sir." So I said, "Thank you." Sat down politely. It's still a professional setting. I'm not just a pro per who wants to be screamed and be heard. I'm
Mhm.
a professional who wants to vindicate my rights.
Mhm.
If I weren't thinking that way, I wouldn't have a good lawyer like Eric Wafer.
Mhm.
He's been on the show. Um, so they turn around, the head of the board of the supervisors endorsed Mr. Pittman. And if you'll notice in the video, they had a prepared statement. He read from something. They saw me in the dais and prepared something, knowing I was going to say something. And if you notice in the beginning of it, he points out, remember, we have rules of decorum. Again, I always act professionally. I
Mhm.
don't act out. And the video with Robert Pittman proves it. I'm being arrested falsely. Why am I not getting all worried? Because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm
Right.
doing my job. I protect people's right to notice.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that summons is dated properly. I have to make sure my proof of service is written correctly for, corporations or fictitious businesses, or did I serve his aunt? And then I have to mail her a copy. There's all these little rules that we go through. And it's a serious business, and I've been in it for 15 years.
Mhm.
I just took on a partner, Jordana Adago, excellent young woman, really doing good work, learning process serving, and I'm looking forward to doing a whole lot more work with her.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, that's what's going on with the case. The viral video, Miss Susan Bassey took the police video and she ran with it. She
Mm.
is such an excellent journalist,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she is
Yeah.
fair but firm and short. Everything is get it done, get it done. And she's done a records request. They've pretty much kind of denied everything and being more specific to her, instead of just supplying things.
Mm.
Why does it got to be a fight to get a public record?
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Mhm.
Think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. They're hiding
So
a lot. I think, yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Pittman is going to try to push back in some way or another, because at a certain point, um, we're going to make headway with the lawsuit. I firmly believe that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been doing it this long. Legally, you
Mhm.
cannot have the defendant submitting false evidence, admitting the judge denied someone rights, and go, "Oh, well, it's dismissed."
Yeah.
You know, then what form of judicial system do we have? What faith can people have if you could walk in with documents signed by the court itself, right? The
Mhm.
court transcription has signed those documents and can't count on them. They've been ruled a fake.
Yeah. How wrong.
Well, that's why we keep fighting. We need to elect new officials who aren't
Mhm.
going to tolerate these type of things.
And how
So,
often do you guys do elections over there in California?
well, same as everywhere,
Yeah.
based on the terms. I think like supervisors get what, 2 or 4 years.
Mhm.
Uh, if I remember right, I ran for it once. There was an open seat, and they were just, come on down if you think you'd like to be a supervisor. Of course, they had their pick already had, and someone, when we were talking amongst us, the people that were, to come up and do your speech of why you wanted to be an elected representative,
Mhm.
um, they were like, "Yeah, no, 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 we're just doing this. This is part of the process." They already picked their pony.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the
So,
rest of the board, they seem like nice people. They didn't say anything much about what we did with Mr. Pittman. Just the head of the board went on the record and said, they had total confidence in him. He's a great lawyer, great guy. And it's like, did you look at the evidence, sir? Did you look at the police report?
mhm.
Did you look at the fact that he's representing you, the county, in a lawsuit and then having me falsely arrested?
Bad behavior from a bad actor.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
So how is the book doing, by the way?
Oh, it's coming
I
along.
got you.
Yeah,
Okay. We can
gathering
get that on
stories.
Amazon. I'm
What
story number 26.
you're gonna see, and you're still gonna be story number 26. I'm keeping the updated people to their original story numbers.
I'm gonna have to get a jersey.
Yeah. Right. No, it's gonna be g I'm you know what? I think even though they tried to dismiss your federal court case, I think something is gonna happen, and something's gonna break. I just know. They can't get away with this for this long.
If truth and the law are to prevail, my case will be a summary judgment in my favor.
Yes. Yeah, and they should have done that anyway. I don't know what uh,
Well, we have some ideas, but we can't prove it yet. And that's one of the thing about, because I get to come on your show, I don't bring you anything I can't prove with a document or
right,
a video or a
right.
recording. You know,
Yeah,
that's
because
one thing I've learned working about in the law field. If you can't prove it, shut up.
right, because you sent me your arrest.
Right, that's the voided ticket.
Voided, you see
Sonoma,
the
the
void,
Sonoma
void.
County Sheriff, Sonoma County, California Sheriff, they've taken a bad rap in the past, but on this one, they did a fine job. Deputy Ryan Foyles went and actually looked up the code that I told him, and found out, hey, the court officer was right. He knew better than the lawyer being paid $273,000 a year and has a Cornell law degree.
Oh, yes, and
I believe it's all in his thing. He went to Cornell University, but
oh,
the process server knew the law.
right. Cornell, oh my goodness. What can you say, you know?
Well, the other thing you start to think about, given that number I just gave you, a congressman, our congressman, like Congressman Jared Hood Huffman, whose office has helped me in the past, awesome congressman. He only makes $174,000 a year. Robert Pittman makes 100 grand more than a congressman. What is
Something's
he doing for the county? Uh, that new courthouse that they're building in Sonoma County, it's
mhm.
as big as the one in downtown Los Angeles that I go to for family court when I got to go down there for cases.
Ah, it's a disgrace.
Wh- where is all the money to build that and pay Pittman that? And then he's got a staff of 32 lawyers who are all probably getting paid comparably.
Mhm.
All that money's got to come from somewhere, and it ain't just taxes, you know?
Oh, oh,
Sonoma County is
man.
a good county to live in, but County Counsel Robert Pittman needs to be replaced. He's committed criminal acts on video.
Mhm. Yeah, and the public needs to know how their tax dollars are being spent.
I was surprised to find out how much he made, but that again, Susan Bassey investigating all of the facts down to the minutia detail. I'm so looking forward to she's working on something for the transcripts right now, and she'll probably have some other stuff coming up after that because she's covering cases from here all the way down to Santa Clara, which is 2 hours
Mhm,
away from here. Um, and like I say, from my experience of working with her, the lady is thorough
mhm,
and she works hard.
mhm. Oh,
You know,
definitely.
I was very lucky for her to call up and ask me, I heard you have a story. What is it?
Oh, it's a big one.
And and we did get the front page of the local newspaper on the same day. There was a big picture of the board meeting, and we got the little front page with Phil Barber, the investigative journalist for Sonoma County, who does legal for the paper.
Mhm,
He sat down and he talked to my lawyer about it. And we showed him all the receipts. Hey, look, here's the transcripts. Here's the citation from the transcription board.
mhm.
It's 10 years later and
Oh,
they find her. That's how bad a crime it is for them to falsify court records and then submit them in federal court.
that's a disgrace.
I can't emphasize that enough.
Mhm. Oh, justice delayed is justice denied, and I just, you know, the American public is trampled on, especially if when you're caught up in such as cases like yours.
Well, we were also recently talking to a gentleman down in Atlanta,
Mhm.
Cornell Smith, who
Oh,
he had a family case, Cornell.
yeah.
And he was saying about getting things changed, and I'm on board with what Susan Bassey wants. I want to see cameras in all these courtrooms.
Hmm.
You shouldn't need a transcription. You just should be able to get a video. Just like here on Zoom, you talk, I talk, we light up. This can be all recorded and transferred electronically. Why can't we have what's said in court every day right there? No more altered transcripts, and no more people acting out and not getting caught. And
Right.
maybe some people, like I know recently you were working on the removal of that judge in Pennsylvania. If this is a judge who's acting out and making comments or making rulings that are completely absurd, they really drape them with that immunity, which I still don't think is right. Qualified immunity is the law, and I agree with it. You shouldn't be able to sue a judge because you didn't like the statute that they used, or the fine that they gave you. If
Hmm.
it's something reasonable, or even if they made a reasonable mistake, you can go to the appeals court and, hey, it wasn't 803A, it was 803D, and that's like half of the jail time, right? And you just want what's rightfully what you're getting convicted for. Um, you just gotta, work on those things.
Hmm. It's all in their behaviors
Mm-hmm.
and how they treat people, and also other past cases of other people trying to take them to the appeals court as well.
Right. But when they then, if you could see on camera that they literally commit a crime,
Hmm.
like you would consider that Louise Bill's fight master denied my right to a hearing.
Yeah.
And we have, if we had a video of it, this might have gotten settled a lot sooner. And then maybe after two or three of these that she's done to people, the judicial council would have said next, because they can get a lawyer that wants to get that position.
Hmm.
But I'm a firm believer, if a judge steps over the line and commits a crime, denies you your right, or
Hmm.
charges you with something you ain't even done, or in a place you weren't even at,
Hmm.
they commit a crime, they shouldn't be able to have that same
No.
immunity. I remember in one of our first shows, one of the first two, I told you about that case, Hardwick.
Oh yeah.
And we quoted Judge Trott, a Harvard professor, one of the top judges on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. He said, no official with an IQ greater than the room temperature of a room in Alaska should be on notice that if you violate clearly established law, you have no immunity,
Mm.
right? That's reasonable. And he cited a case in California, um, or a California case. It must be a federal case considering it's a Ninth Circuit, but it was called San Francisco versus Sheehan was the case that he cited. Um, judges don't have a free reign to commit crime.
Right. Right. And I always tell my viewers, feel free to complain. Write up a complaint about your attorney or your judge or your guardian ad litem, the third party parasites, or whoever. But I mean, file
But
complaints.
but the complaint should be based on crime,
Right.
not on I didn't like you.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
if you use some little cocktail pamphlet and that's where you got the name and you're wondering the kind of service you got,
Mhm.
well, or if you go down to the state bar and you ask who are the best, attorneys at this, you can do some research before you hire an attorney.
Mhm.
I'm extremely blessed to have Mr. Wafer
Oh
as
yeah.
my representative in the Ninth Circuit. And, we're, we're, we still have hope.
Oh, there is hope. And we're still going to be doing updates with you because your case is just it's exciting. It doesn't end. I'm sorry.
Definitely. One day I've got to come out there and get a terrible towel and do a live one with you.
We will do that. We will do that. Most
Okay.
definitely.
That's
Hey,
one thing Eric really liked. You were from Western PA. That's where he got his law degree.
cool. Yeah, right. Well, right now it's raining, but we had a boatload of snow 2 days ago.
So I live up on top of a mountain. We had that once about a year ago. I mean, 12 inches all at once, trees broke and everything. It
Oh
was,
no, that's bad. Yeah.
So,
Hey,
all right.
how can people reach you if they have any questions?
Email not to be taken away at live.com. Or they could reach me through you.
Okay. And hey, don't jump off. Okay.
Okay. I'll
Slam
jump
the
here.
Slam the Gavel's a podcast to help the public understand what really goes on in these family courtrooms. I'm your host, Marianne Petrie, author of Dismantling Family Court Corruption, Why Taking the Kids Was Not Enough, and Cry Out for Justice, Poems of Truth, and Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple iTunes, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, and other platforms I don't know about. And feel free to buy me a coffee to keep these podcasts going. Thank you so very much, Mark Andrews. You'll be back.
Hey, one last thing, Marianne. I
Yeah.
do want to say thank you so much. You've always been so inviting with having me on your show. You put me in your book. I'm very blessed to have you as a friend and someone that, shoulder by shoulder across the country, we're going to make this better for all parents.
Definitely. We're going to work hard at it. And we have been.
Yes, ma'am.
And I totally thank you. So hang on.